I go for refuge and turn my light into the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my light into the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. By my accumulation of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Juda Zoge Shona Dage Shinso Gebe Zonamge Dola Benje Sangye Rubare Shu Sangye Juda Zoge Shona Yanju Badu Dane Gyabzu Je Dage Shinso Gebe Sonam Dola Benje Sangye Rubare Shu Sangye Juda Zoge Shonam La Chanju Badu Gyabzu Je Dage Shinso Gebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Rubare Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaya Svaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaya Svaha Om Hetum De Vati Mahashramanaya Svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Arasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Arasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Okay. Yesterday, what we were talking about, I think we were talking about the 5 pairs. Objective is subjective as opposed to objective, and what else? Conventional is opposed to ultimate. Dependent is opposed to independent. Deceptive as opposed to true existence. Relative as opposed to absolute. Okay. Here, what we're going to do is we will just quickly see how they make sense to us. How these, particularly what we're learning is we're rejecting 5 of them, and we are positing 5 of them. And what are the 5 things which we are rejecting? What are the 5 things they're rejecting? Objective, ultimate, independent, true existence, absolute. And what are the 5 things that we establish? Subjective, conventional, dependent, deceptive, relative. Good. Okay, first let's say objective and subjective. Objective and subjective, let's say dream. Exists objectively, subjectively. Subjectively. Anybody who likes anybody who likes to share with us how dream is subjective? What do you mean by dream being subjective? Resents? Quick, to save time. Okay, the girl over there. Mike.
Говорит, да. Только я вижу тот сон, который мне снится, и никто другой не видит этот сон.
It's subjective because only I can see the dream that I'm seeing. Nobody else can see. So that's why it's subjective.
Very good. Okay, that's good. Okay. Say, we all put on blue glasses. We all put on blue glasses and look at the snow, and the snow appears as blue. The blue snow that that appears to you. The blue snow that appears to you is subjective, objective. Some people they are saying objective, right? Okay, what is the subjective, objective? Subjective. Okay, is there anybody who likes to explain how that is subjective? Appearance of the blue snow. Anyone? Okay, we put on we put on the blue glasses, and because of which it appears as blue. Otherwise, it's white. Anybody else who likes to explain it? It is very good. Thank you. Anyone else? How is it subjective? Quick, to save time. Yes.
Снег сам по себе белый, и только когда мы надеваем очки, делает его синим для тех, кто надел очки. Но сам по себе снег белый по своей природе. Да.
It is subjective because the snow by itself is white. And whenever you put on goggles, only those people put on goggles.
Okay, good. White. Very good. Okay, so the lady here, when she said it's just only the dream is what I'm seeing. We're getting it? So we get the feeling as though like subjective means something which only you see, not others see. You're getting it? So the appearance of blue snow, that is something which everybody who puts on blue glasses, they see, not only one person. You're getting it? So even though many people see that, doesn't mean that it is subjective. Still, it is subjective. The way Shwetlana said, is subjective. Very good. So, anybody else, what do you understand by subjective? How do you explain it? Yes, Alex.
I was going to answer the snow question.
Huh?
I don't know. I was going to respond to the blue snow thing. Can I respond to the blue snow?
Yes.
Okay. If anybody else comes along and they're not wearing glasses, they'll see the snow as white. Even though everybody else is wearing blue glasses, we see it as blue. Somebody else who's not wearing glasses who comes along is going to see it as white. So this makes it subjective.
Oh, so therefore, what do you, the appearance of the blue snow as blue is subjective. It's for this room. Very good. Thank you. Here. Yamuna.
Sorry, I'm confused. Any phenomena that is seen from the eye of a witness is subjective. not I, but like with experience
Okay, let
from the
me say it like
perspective
this.
of a witness.
Appearance of
Consciousness.
blue snow. Appearance of blue snow to all the people who put on the blue glasses, that appearance, is it subjective or objective?
It's subjective
How? What do you mean by subjective in that sense?
because it's all the phenomena is all seen from the point of a witness. Witness of everyone is a separate witness, but it's still seen from a witness stance, so it's subjective.
Okay, so saying that it is, but let's say that this pen, let's say this flower. So it is seen from the point of view of the witness. But how can you say it is subjective? It is not objective. Because the advocates of objective existence,
Means that it would exist without a witness.
this is what I'm saying. So even the advocates of objective existence will say that it makes sense only with respect to the witness. To say it exists, there should be a witness there to say it exists, but it still exists objectively.
But if everybody closes their eyes, it doesn't exist.
No, what I'm saying is that even if everybody closes their eyes, still the flower exists. You keep it here, right? Are you saying that if everybody closes their eyes, then the flower don't be here? Is that what you're saying? Yes,
While
no.
we're closing our eyes, it's not there. When we all open our eyes and we all witness it, then it's there.
Okay, when the eyes are. So what Yamuna is saying is that when we are not looking at it, it's not there. When you look at it, inside it comes. Right? Okay. I hope Yamuna's the safe in her house is not locked because she's not. Nobody's looking at it. It's not there. Lockness. No, there's no difference. I think she's not looking at it. Right? Mike.
The snow is objective, but the experience of the snow is subjective. So
This is not my question.
can you repeat your question, please?
My question is appearance of the blue snow to all the people who put in the blue glasses.
Yeah,
That appearance of blue snow, how is it subjective?
but it is subjective. Individually, each of them have glasses on, so each of their individual experience is subjective. But even if I came along and saw it as white, my experience of that snow could also be subjective.
Okay, so do you all follow your name?
Orla.
Okay, you follow what Ola said? So in a way, you know what subjective is now. I'm looking for an answer, but still it's not coming. All your answers are correct. Only thing is I'm looking for a very precise thing. Okay, the gentleman here.
So this gentleman is saying that we need to understand that snow is something that consists of parts. And we all, when we look at the snow, let's say that it's blue snow for other colors. So it also consists of parts. And being the how to say accumulation of parts, it must be subjective.
Mike?
I'm seeing it as a combination of seeing and comprehending. So if I may see something differently, but still I comprehend is the same, it's subjective. But if my seeing and comprehending is the same, then it's objective.
Okay. Okay, Lisa. Yes, what is meant by subjective? In simple terms, what is meant by subjective?
From the subject side, like
Meaning, what is subject?
the observer or the
Observer like what?
yeah, from like in my if it was for me, it'd be in my own eyes, my perspective, the subject.
Exactly. Let's say that what is this?
A flower.
How do you know this is a flower? What makes you think that this is a flower?
My
Huh?
my
Your
eye consciousness.
mind.
Uh-huh.
I can't see your mind. You're getting it? In other words, I'm struggling to get this word mind. And nobody said it, right? Okay, you're all very expert. You go into technicalities. I'm looking for the subjective means which comes into existence by the power of your mind. You getting it? Like the dream by the power of your mind. So subjective has the connotation of something that comes from your mind, technically projection of your mind. Technically, simple words is a part of your mind. It comes from your mind. Technically, projection of your mind. You getting it? Okay. But when you say, oh, it's just your mind, the really brilliant philosophers like Arjuna, they say that it's just coming in your mind. And many of the ordinary people, they say it's just your mind, just your mind. These are very different. One is nihilism and one is the middle way. It's very different. You're getting it? So when we say it's all projection of mind, it's not just a story. It's not just, somebody fooling us, right? It is logically to be understood, logically to be revolutionized in your thinking. Things are all coming from the part of your mind. Subjective, as Lisa said, subject means object as opposed to subject. The subject is your mind. Don't forget it. Now next is conventional. Conventional. When we say conventional, okay, let's say that say how many of you drive cars? How many of you drive cars? Good. Say when you drive cars, you can drive on the left lane or the right lane. Where should we drive? Raise hand. Raise hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hands. Raise hands. Okay, here. Yes, you.
В зависимости от моей скорости выбираю полосу.
No, I'm not asking. Depends. Where do you ride? Where?
В России? О, господи, я уже запуталась.
No,
Справа.
sure. You can get. So we say.
Справа. Справа.
She's looking here.
Я имела...
I thought that you were talking about two ways going to the same side. So when the road is
Divided. Which way?
if the direction is just one direction, so you can talk about two ways.
So say if there's only one road, and then but you have to drive. You couldn't drive on both sides, right? Both sides, then there will be accident. So you have to drive on the right or left. Right.
Правосторонне.
Right. Here.
If I'm here, on the left. If I'm in Italy, on the right.
Okay. Italy on the right? In India, left. In Italy, right. Okay, so in Italy, sometimes do you drive on the left?
Yes.
Sometimes. right? So, the bill comes to you. What is that? What do you call it? Bill?
Yeah.
Fine comes to you. Right? Okay. Who decides? Road will not tell you that, oh, hey, Luca, you're in the wrong lane. Road will not tell you. Road is object. Object will not tell you that you are in the wrong lane. You getting it? Same. why the right lane is correct?
Because he's conventional.
What do you mean by conventional?
Common sense. Most of the people in samsara conventionally
Okay,
agree.
most
that
of the people in samsara drives on the right. In India, they're not samsara, they're nirvana. Oh, the lady there.
Правила играют роль, общепринятые правила, которые как бы обозначены правилами движения, я так думаю.
Traffic rules in the particular place. Perfect. It's convention. Convention create. The rule is nothing but a convention created. You're getting it? And when do you think the traffic rules are created? Which year? Right? The first car that came to Italy, right? The first car that came to Italy, the car can drive right to left. First car.
everywhere.
Everywhere is fine, right? Then suddenly there's a problem. More cars come. More cars come. Then the problem. Then the matter was reported to the government. And the government says, we have to do something. You're getting it? We have to do something. What do you do? Then experts are called. Experts are called. And then experts discussed. What is that element which the experts use to discuss? Mind. You're getting it? Experts use their mind to discuss what would be the best thing to do. So, convention is again created by your mind. Conventional is again mind. You getting it? Subjective is mind. Conventional is mind. You getting it? So they all come to the same point. Yes.
For convention, one mind is enough or should be at least two?
Same convention. One mind is good enough or it requires two or more minds. Right? So convention, that now to make it quick, okay, in a family, many, how many, Anila? Many, how many? 10, 100, 1,000? 2. 2 is not many. No, I do not ask. What I ask is, you said many. What do you mean by many? Is it 2 or 10 or 100? No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking Venerable here. More than one. Okay. So let's say that they say that they should do a business, right? The nation, the whole country will do a business, and say that only two persons know how to make something. And so now the country is having a creative convention. Only 2 of you, right? And making decisions for the country. Is it wise? For the country, it should represent the country. It's not just 2, right? It should be majority should be there. The parliament. What is parliament? To represent the majority. You're getting it? To represent the whole country. So therefore, convention, there are so many kinds. For example, at home, you and your mom, this is your cup. Okay, mom, this is my cup. You getting it? So in future, don't use my cup. You use your cup, right? This convention created. So next time somebody puts this to the mother side, the mother says, no, this is his cup. It doesn't say this is Dorji's cup. There's nothing there. It's just a pure convention between two people, right? Traffic rules is convention among so many people. It's not just one or two, right? And then convention in the world conventions. How should the world, UNO, how should the UNO operate? That conventions, the whole world is involved. You got to get, it depends on convention. It does not require only one or two or 10. No, it depends. Yeah, for you, yes. Only one person.
So it could be one person's convention?
It is also possible.
How come?
Yeah, so for example, your mala, right?
Yeah.
Say, I'll not put it like this.
Why?
Right? No, I'll not put it like this. This is my convention. This is nice. Right? It's only for me. You put it like this, I don't mind. But for me, you'll always see me with this, not here. This is my convention. Okay. So what I'm saying is that subjective has a connotation of coming from your mind. Convention has a connotation coming from your mind. So therefore we say that everything exists by the power of your mind. Everything is conventionally existent. You're getting it? Not everything is conventional truth. Everything is conventionally existent. Everything exists conventionally. You're getting everything, including emptiness, exists by the power of your mind. There's nothing objectively real. You're getting it? Okay. The next, yes.
If only you are putting it like that, why is it not ultimately?
Not ultimately.
Just
It's convention.
But everyone disagree, and you do it like that. It's ultimate.
Not me. You are doing it. I said I put it here. Right? I said I don't put it here. You put it like this.
Yeah. So no one else has any choice. I put it like this.
Yeah. So it's fine. Nobody complain. If people complain, something's crazy with them. It's your convention. It's fine. You getting it?
Okay.
Okay. Next, before we go into what really is emptiness, right? We need to know what is known as the 5 levels of selflessness. In general, selflessness and emptiness these two mean the same. In general, selflessness and emptiness mean the same. But when you go into the technicalities, then the subtle differences come into existence, nuances come into existence. For that matter, we need to know what is known as 5 levels of selflessness, right? So I'll give you these 5, and after this, each one of us will say by heart. Each one of us. Yes, Lucas is ready. Okay. Ready? Number 1, the selflessness of permanent, unitary, independent self. Selflessness of permanent, unitary, independent self. Selflessness of permanent, unitary, independent self. What is unitary? Don't worry, just write it down. I'll tell you what it is. Selflessness of permanent, unitary, independent self. Number 2, selflessness of autonomous, substantial reality. Selflessness of autonomous, substantial reality. Number 2. Selflessness of autonomous, substantial reality. Number 2. Number 3. Selflessness of externality. Selflessness of externality. Externality. Selflessness of externality. Number 3. Number 4. Selflessness of true existence. Selflessness of true existence while not rejecting objective existence. Let me repeat it. Number 4, selflessness of true existence while not rejecting objective/intrinsic inherent existence. Let me repeat it. Emptiness was selflessness of true existence while not rejecting objective intrinsic inherent existence. Okay, number 5. Selflessness of objective existence. Selflessness of objective existence. Okay, number 1. What's number 1? Selflessness of permanent, unitary, independent self. What is number 2? Selflessness of autonomous substantial reality. What is number 3? Selflessness of externality. Number 4, selflessness of true existence while not rejecting objective intrinsic inherent existence. Finally, the selflessness of objective existence. Okay. And particularly when we talk about the third level of selflessness, or in a loose sense, you can also say emptiness, these 5 levels of emptiness. In a loose sense, 5 levels of emptiness, but standard, better call it the 5 levels of selflessness. You getting it? Okay. And keep in mind that these 5 levels of selflessness, don't think that there's one book which so beautifully explains the 5 levels. No, you will never find this. And even if you go to really the good scholars, really good, for example, like my teacher, Venerable Geshe Dorji, even if you go to these great scholars, that these 5, if you ask them what is the number 3, what is number 3 selfless, what is number 2 selfless, and so forth, they will say, what are you talking about? You're getting it? So these 5 I compiled together, put them together. You getting it? This file I took from this text, that text, this text, that, put them together so that people can learn it very easily. You getting it? You will never find one book, ancient book, which was 5 levels of selflessness. You will never find it. So one day what happened? Was that I was teaching this 5 levels of selflessness, and then I warned the students that never ever, when you go to really extremely extraordinary scholars, the masters, like my teacher, when you go, never ever ask them what is the 3rd level of selflessness. Never ask them. Instead, you ask them directly. If you want to ask the 3rd one, what should you say? What is the emptiness of autonomy? What is the emptiness of externality? If you want to ask the number 2, what should you say? Please teach me something about a selflessness of autonomous substantial real. Don't say number 1, number 2, number 3. You're getting it? Because it's not that there's one book which said number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is all what I compile. After saying this, there's one girl, after attending the retreat, study, she went to South India just for a short visit. And then she ended up in the monastery where two of us were there. And of course, my teacher still there, is there, and she went to take blessings from my teacher. And I always tell people that when you go to my teacher, don't just ask, please bless me, right? My teacher, you must go there to take maximum advantage of my teacher. When you go there, you must take the maximum advantage. You must ask philosophical questions. Where you would not get answers, you'll get answers from him. And what she said, sir, please teach me more about the 3rd level of selflessness. I said, don't say 3rd level, 4th level, and so forth. And she said, she just exactly said it. Sir, please teach me 3rd level of selflessness. And my teacher said, who taught you 3rd level of selflessness? Geshe Dorji Damdul taught us. Right, you ask him. You're getting it? You ask him. I don't know. You ask him what 3rd level of selflessness. You're getting it? So this is what I'm saying. I just told the class, and she was there, and went and asked what's the 3rd level of selflessness. So when you go, what should you ask? What is this selflessness? What is the selflessness of? Externality. If you want to know the 4th level of selflessness, what should you say? What is the selflessness of true existence while not rejecting objective, intrinsic, inherent existence? You're getting it? You ask that rather than one. Don't be lazy. When it's 1, 2, 3, which means you don't want to just say the full thing, right? You're lazy. Don't be lazy. Okay. So these 5, and these 5, remember these 5. These are so precious. Number 1. Number 2, when you remember these, make sure that these 5 you remember in this particular sequence. There's a reason there's a sequence there. How? Progressively, from number 1 through number 5, progressively it becomes subtler. You getting it? Progressively it becomes subtler from selflessness of permanent unity, independent self, which is the grossest. And as you go down, it becomes subtler, subtler, subtler. Progressively it becomes subtler. You getting it? Okay, good. Next is okay, now how can I really understand what emptiness is? This question. For this, there are so many reasons given. There are so many reasons given. We're going to study one reason. The reason of the 4 essentials to establish emptiness. We're going to just learn one. And if you know this well, this will be like the key. This will be like the key for us to understand the remaining reasons, other reasons also very easily. You getting it? Okay, what's the reason? This is the reasoning of 4 essentials to establish emptiness. We're going to study the reasoning of 4 essentials. 4 essentials to establish emptiness. Okay. So now these are a little technical. Don't think that is everything. Every day is like stories. Okay, what are the 4 essentials? Number 1, essential of identifying the object of negation. Now you know what is object of negation. You getting it? The essential of identifying the object of negation. Your name? Kaya, you have cold problem? Do you take medicines? Do you have fever? No fever, good. Okay. And then before you go to bed, if you can take there's one tablet. I don't know whether you take tablets. There's one tablet, citizen. You take it, the next morning it's gone. Just try. You want to try? Try it. Okay. What was he saying? Essential of identifying the object negation, number 1. Number 2, essential of understanding the emptiness. What is that? Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Let me repeat it. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Let me repeat it. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. With its parts. Yes. Parts. Okay, number 3. The essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different. Now, earlier it was intrinsic one. It's the same. Number 2 and number 3 is the same except for one and different. Emptiness of the objects. What is that? Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. You got it? Shall I repeat it? Okay. Essential for understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. Finally, the essential of understanding the pervasion, 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 emptiness of pervasion. The essential of, what is that? Essential of understanding the pervasion. The essential of understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of empty of being, intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts, entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Okay, let me repeat it. Essential for understanding the pervasion. Write it. Essential for understanding the pervasion. Done? That anything which is empty of being, intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts, entails the emptiness. Okay, let me do it again. A sense of understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Okay, let me repeat it. A sense of understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Okay, is there anybody who likes me to repeat again? Yes. Okay, so let me again. A sense of understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Oh, you got it? Everyone? Emptiness of objective existence of the object. Emptiness of objective existence of the object. Okay. Okay. Got it? All God? No? Which you refers? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1. Number 4. Essential for understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of being one with, anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. Got it? Good. Okay. Wow, next life, I don't have to study at all. Right? So, what? Right? 4 essentials. The first thing that I will say is the 4 essentials, right? Okay. Ready? What's the first one? Hey, what's the first one? Essential for identifying the object of negation. The first one is so important. If you fail to identify if you fail to understand the first one well, then everything will fall apart. So, The first thing is so important to identify the object of negation. Okay, now tell me. I hope that your brain is not, what is that? Your brain does not hang, right? Okay, let's say emptiness of the flower. We already did in the first session. You getting it? First session today. Emptiness of the flower. Positive phenomena, negative phenomena. Negative phenomena, right? Negative phenomena. What is the object of negation of the emptiness of the flower? Raise your hands. Quick, quick, quick. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Okay, the Shari Pema. Mike, Shari Pema. Okay. Shari Pema saying that object negation of emptiness of the flower is the objective existence of the flower. How many agree with Shari Pema? Raise hands. Raise hands. How many agree with Shari Pema? Very good. Object negation. So in other words, to make it very simple, let's say that flower does not exist objectively. Flower is not a chocolate. What's object negation? Flower being a chocolate is the object of negation. You getting it? Flower is not objectively existent. What is the object of negation? Flower being objectively existent or objective existence of the flower is the object of negation of the flower. Flower not being objectively real. Good. What is the object of negation of the flower? Emptiness of Dorji, emptiness of a person. What's the object negation of emptiness of the person? Inherent existence of the person, objective existence of the person, intrinsic existence of the person. They all mean the same. You getting it? Okay. Now you pick up something. You pick up something. Whatever you have, just pick that up. Pick that up and show that to me. Good. And look at it yourself. Luca, what is that? What is in your hand?
It was from the last lesson of His Holiness.
Okay, I thought it was something like wheat. I was a little scared.
No, thank you.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, thank you. Yes, it's a projection. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Luca is so kind. He instantly put it down and put the next one. Right. Thank you, Luca. Okay, let's say that. Look at it. Look at the object that you picked it up. Look at it yourself. Just look at it. Just look at it and see how it appears as objectively real or subjectively real. Just look at it and tell me, how does the object appear to you? How does it appear to you? If it appears as subjective, right, you already got the paragraph somewhere, right? So, right, objective. It appears objectively real. So, we're talking about the emptiness of your pen, the pen. Most of you picked up the pen. You're talking about the emptiness of the pen. You getting it? Emptiness of the pen. What is the object of negation of the emptiness of the pen? Objective existence of the pen, inherent existence of the pen, whatever you may call it. You getting it? My next question to you: what do you mean by objective existence? What do you mean by inherent existence? So there are two questions. First question is, what is the objective negation of the emptiness of the pen? And you said objective existence of the pen. Second question, what do you understand by objective existence of the pen? True existence. What do you mean by true existence? Something that exists independently. Independent of what? Anyone? Yes.
independent of one's mind.
Independent of one's mind. Swat. Hey, the lady there. What is your name? The girl there. Huh? Stop. You do not raise hand. Okay, anyone? Raise hands. What do you understand by objective existence? Anyone? Quick, quick, quick. To save time. Okay, Ben.
That it does not come into being by the power of my mind. It's
Something existing without the power of the mind. Something coming into existence without the power of the mind. Where the mind is irrelevant. That becomes the objective existence. Anyone else? Anyone else? No one. Yes. Objective existence means something which I can touch. Something which we can touch. This is the meaning of objective existence. Anyone else? Yes, over there.
That this is not projection of my mind.
Okay, something which is not projected by mind. Very good. Anyone else? I need more answers, different answers. Yes. Something I can see. So which means the Nadia exists objectively. Do you exist objectively? Huh? Oh. Nadia does not have two truths. Yesterday we said everything has two truths, right? Nadia has only one truth, no two truths. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Rishi. Mike?
Not the result of causes or conditions.
Something which is not the result. Something which exists independent of causes and conditions. Anyone else? Okay, Min. Mike.
Objective existence means something exists on its own side.
Something which exists from its own side. So look, we are getting many answers. You're getting it? Good. Anyone else? Last. Okay, here. Drishti, Mike. Mike, Drishti there.
Something which is not dependent on the subject to exist.
Wow. Something which doesn't exist. Objective means something which doesn't depend on the subject. Subjective? Mind. Something which doesn't exist depends on subjective mind, which is something which is independent of the subjective mind. Very good. Okay, so we got many answers. You getting it? If we cannot identify the object negation well, we can't expect to understand emptiness. If we cannot understand emptiness, what's the problem? We cannot get rid of the self-grasping ignorance. If we cannot get rid of self-grasping ignorance, what's the problem? We cannot get out of samsara. You getting it? No matter what you do, we continue to suffer in samsara. No matter what you do. For example, the Buddha's two teachers. Who are they? Acharya Alara Kalam and Acharya Udrega. The two teachers, their meditative experience is very high, so deep. You getting it? So deep experience of meditation, very high level. Our meditation, that the breath, sensation, all these things, they're far, far top. Still, two are not liberated. You getting it? The two are not liberated. Because of this, the Buddha Shakyamuni, after becoming enlightened, he knew that his two teachers, they did not have the wisdom of emptiness. They just have the meditative concentration. The mindfulness meditation is very high level, and yet knowing that there's no wisdom of emptiness, so they're still in samsara. So the becoming a Buddha, he wanted to repay the kindness of the two teachers. The first thing he wanted to do was to give this share of the wisdom of emptiness to the two teachers. But of course, the Buddha came to realize the two teachers already passed away. Right? So this wisdom is so precious. This samadhi is very important. But without the wisdom, this samadhi will not take you to get away from samsara. You're getting it? So therefore, this wisdom is so precious. Because this wisdom is so precious, we need to follow these 4 essentials so well. And particularly if you miss the first point, you miss the whole thing. So therefore, to understand the first point, which is this, the essential of identifying the object negation. This is so important. Okay, so for this, to identify it very precisely, you have to avoid the 2 extremes. You're getting it? When talk about the extremes, 2 extremes, the 2 extremes can be related to many things. It's not always a one thing all the time. You're getting it? So, with respect to identify object negation, again there are 2 extremes. One is known as maximalist redundancy. One is known as maximalist redundancy. That is the extreme of maximalist redundancy. And the other one is the extreme of minimalist inadequacy. Let me repeat it. The 2 extremes pertaining to identify object negation. Number 1, maximalist redundancy. Number 2, minimalist inadequacy. Minimalist inadequacy. You getting it? Okay, so what do you mean by maximalist redundancy? What do you mean by minimalist inadequacy? These are 2 questions that come to mind. The first, let me say that if I say that emptiness of the flower, emptiness of the flower, emptiness of the flower, you say, when you say emptiness, you are rejecting something. You are rejecting something. You are negating something. You're getting it? If somebody asks me, what is the object of negation? If I say that, the permanent flower is the object of negation, right? So, you negate the flower to be permanent. What do you understand? You understand the flower is impermanent. You getting it? Understand the flower is impermanent is not understand emptiness. You getting it? So therefore, why you did not get emptiness? Because you identify the object of negation wrongly. You identify object of negation as the permanent flower. Permanent flower is too gross. Object of negation of emptiness should be such that when you negate it, you should cognize emptiness. Let me repeat it. Object of negation of emptiness should be such that when you negate object of negation, simultaneously, you should cognize emptiness. You getting it? So when you negate the flower to be permanent, do you understand emptiness? Do you get emptiness? When you negate the flower to be permanent, what do you understand? You understand that flower is impermanent, right? Flower is impermanent. If you understand the flower is impermanent, does it mean is this understanding of the flower to be empty? The emptiness of flower? Is this understanding of emptiness of flower? Let me repeat it. If you understand the flower as impermanent, does it mean that you've understood the emptiness of the flower? No. Okay. Very good. I really appreciate it. Answer is no, because impermanence of flower, or the flower being impermanent, is very gross. Emptiness of flower is very subtle. You're getting it? One is very subtle, one is very gross. Okay, let's say laptop. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there used to be laptop, yes? Which is more subtle in operation? 30 years ago laptop or today's laptop? Today's laptop. Simply because the two are both laptops does not mean the two are same. You're getting it? There's a stark contrast there. So likewise, they say the flower to be impermanent and flower as empty of objective existence. These two, there's a stark contrast in subtlety. Flower being impermanent is very gross in comparison with flower being empty of objective existence. You're getting it? So therefore, even if you reject the flower is permanent, does not entail you understanding emptiness of the flower. You're getting it? Okay, so what is maximalist redundancy? What is minimalist redundancy? Afternoon class, right? Afternoon at 3 o'clock. Okay. Deyata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhiswatyata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhiswatyata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhiswatyata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhiswaha. 3 prostrations.